Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If not, welcome back and thank you for supporting me. I'm Coretta. In this video, I will be making pin back buttons for a graduation trunk party using my Cricut and a button making kit that I purchased from Amazon. Come on y'all, let's get started. For this project, I will be using Koala Glossy Photo Paper for inkjet printers. I will be using a button making kit that I purchased from Amazon. I am going to use a fraction measuring tape and my blue light grip mat. I will leave a list of these items in the description of the video. So the first thing I want to do is I want to measure my button. To measure my button, I am going to be using a fraction measuring tape, but you can use any measuring tape or ruler. And when I measure the button, there's like a lift inside here, so I'm not going to measure the button from edge to edge. I'm going to measure the button from this lift to this lift over here. And so I'm going to position my measuring tape and I am going to measure it, and I can see that the diameter of the inside of the button is about 2 7/8 in diameter. Next, I am going to upload my picture. To upload my picture, I am going to select Upload on the left toolbar. I am going to select Upload Image. And I've been having some issues with selecting Browse and navigating to the location. And so for this project, I am going to drag and drop my image here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move this off to the side a little bit, and I'm going to open up my File Explorer, and I'm going to select the image from File Explorer, and I'm just going to hold down I'm going to right click it and hold down the right click, and I'm going to drag the image over onto the Cricut application, and I'm going to let it go. And that is going to also upload your image. And I'm just going to move it back and size it so that, and size the canvas back so that it is enlarged again. This screen is showing the picture that I uploaded. So I am going to select Continue on the bottom right. On this screen, you can remove the background of your picture or your image. For this project, I don't want to remove the background, so I am just going to select Apply and Continue on the bottom right. On this screen, I want to select Flat Graphics, and then I'm going to select Continue on the bottom right. This is the image detail screen. Here you can name your image, and you can also add tags or keywords to be able to find your picture at a later date. I will not be doing anything on this screen, so I am going to select Upload on the bottom right. Now that I have my picture, I am going to create a template so that I can see exactly where I'm going to cut the picture for the perfect placement for my button. So on the left toolbar, I'm going to select Shapes. I am going to select a square and a circle. Then I'm going to select Shapes again to close the window. I am going to move the square to an open space on the canvas, and then I want to size it so that it is larger than the picture. And to size it, I am just going to use the side handles to size the picture, to size the square so that it is larger than my picture. Next, I am going to select the circle, and I want to change the color of the circle. And to change the color, I'm going to make sure that the circle is selected. On the top toolbar next to basic cut, I'm going to select the color swatch that's here, and I am going to change the color to a yellow, and then I'm going to select anywhere on the canvas to close the window. After I change the color, I am going to position the circle on top of the square, and I am just going to put the circle on top of the square, anywhere on top of the square. Then I am going to size the circle the same size as my button, which is about 2.875 inches in diameter. To change the size of the circle, I'm going to make sure that the circle is selected. On the top toolbar, I'm going to select size. I am going to leave the lock proportion locked, and I'm going to change the width to 2.875 and hit enter. The height will change proportionately. And then I'm going to select anywhere on the canvas to close the window. Once the circle is sized, I am going to select both the circle and the square. And on the bottom of the layers panel, I am going to select slice. After the slice, I am just going to delete the unwanted pieces. So I'm going to delete the yellow piece because I no longer need it. And I am going to delete this black piece that was sliced from the square. Next, I want to arrange the picture to the back. So I want to make sure that it is to the back. And to do that, I'm going to select the picture. On the top toolbar, I'm going to select Arrange. And I can see that the to back is grayed out, which means that it's already to the back. If this isn't grayed out, then you need to select it so that you can send the picture to the back. And once that is done, I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the window. Now I am going to position and size the picture within the circle how I want it to cut. And when I size my picture, I'm going to be using one of the 4 corner handles so that I can size my picture proportionately. And so I'm just going to size it and position it where I want it. Once I'm satisfied with my placement, I am going to select both the template and the picture. And then on the bottom of the layers panel, I am going to select slice. After the slice, I am going to remove the picture, and I am going to delete the unwanted pieces. Next, I am going to add text to my image. To add text, I am going to select text on the left toolbar. When the text box opens, I am going to type class of 2026. And I am going to select anywhere on the canvas when I finish typing. I am going to change the font by making sure that the text is still selected. And on the top toolbar, I am going to select the font. I am going to select the System tab so that I can only see the fonts that are on my computer. And I am going to select the font Milkshake. So I'm going to scroll down and find the font. Select my font. and then click anywhere on the canvas when I'm finished. Then I'm going to change the color to purple. Select my text and go to the top toolbar and change the color to purple. And then click anywhere on the canvas when I am done. After I select my font and the color, I am going to add a curve to my text. So let me move this up here so that we can see it. And to add my curve, I am going to make sure that my font is selected, my text is selected, and on the top toolbar, to the right on the toolbar, I'm going to select where it says for more. I'm going to select that drop down menu. I'm going to select effects, and then I'm going to select curve. I am going to change my curve to a -18 and hit enter. And then I'm going to click anywhere on the canvas to close the window. Now I'm going to size and position the text where I want it. So that the text can stand out from the image, I am going to add an offset. To add an offset, I am going to make sure that my text is selected. On the top toolbar, I'm going to select the drop-down menu for more. I'm going to select effects, and then I'm going to select offset. I am going to change my offset distance to a 0.03, hit enter, and then I'm going to select apply. Then I'm going to change the color of the offset to a white and click anywhere on the canvas once I'm done. Now that I am finished designing, I am going to select the entire design, and on the bottom of the layers panel, I am going to select flatten. So now I am ready to print, and I am going to select make on the top right. On this screen is my print then cut mat. Here I want to print multiple button designs on one page. To add additional button designs, I am going to change my project copies to 6. And I'm just going to type mine in, and I'm going to select apply. You can also use the up and down arrow to increase or decrease the number of copies you want. And here you can see now that I have 6 copies of my button design. Once I've duplicated this, then I'm going to select continue on the bottom right. On this screen, I am going to select send to printer, and I'm going to select next. On this screen, I am going to select my printer. I'm going to leave the add bleed on, and I'm going to turn on system dialog, and then I'm going to select print. The system dialog box will open, and I am going to select my printer, and then I'm going to select preferences, I am going to change my paper type to HP photo paper. And I'm going to change my quality to best. I'm going to select OK and then print. Once the button design print, I am going to select medium cardstock as my material setting. For this project, I will be using the blue light grip mat. I am going to place the photo paper in the upper left corner of the mat. I am going to make sure that I place it on the mat in the same direction that it appears on my computer screen, with the arrow on the left pointing up. Now I am going to load the mat into the cutting machine and get the button designs cut out. So I have the button design cut and I am ready to assemble. I have my picture and I have my button kit. So the button kit comes with 12 buttons and it comes with the tool to help. If you don't want to use a cutting machine, you can trace your picture here and you could use this to trace your picture. And it has a tool that you can use to open it up because the buttons are reusable. The button comes with a front cover and a back cover, and the back cover has the pin already attached to the button, so it already has it there. To assemble, I am going to take and separate the buttons and the button from the front and the back, and then I'm going to take one of my pictures and I'm going to place it with the image face down so that you can see it from the front. And then I am going to place the back on the back of the image of the button, and I am going to place it with the pin to the top. And before I go any further, I want to make sure that the pin is centered with the design. So the design is faced that way and the pin is facing the same way. So the pin is on the top of the button. Once I get everything positioned, then I'm just going to push it until it snaps in. Once it's snapped in, then you can pin it on to your garment or any place that you want to pin your button. Okay guys, so that is my button that I am going to be using for a graduation trunk party. These are going to be a part of the party favors. I think that they came out cute and it is easy to assemble. I don't have a button making machine, so this was easy for me to be able to make buttons without purchasing a button machine. And I really like how they came out. Tell me what you guys think in the comments. Would this be something that you would be interested in using if you do not have a button making machine? Let me know in the comments. All right, guys, that's all for now. I hope that you're able to follow along with my process. If you like this video and would like to see more, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing to my channel. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you can be notified every time I upload a video. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below and I will respond back. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.